In last video, we discussed about Venus in the 12th house of the horoscope. In this video, we are going to talk about what happens when you have Mars in the 12th house of your horoscope. So keep watching. Namaste and welcome to Pramanik Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazani. Help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic Astrology. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. You'll be getting Vedic astrological videos just like this one, and these videos will help you grow further faster into Vedic astrological studies. If you have any question, put your question into the comment section. I read all the comments and I try to reply to almost all the comments. If you are looking for readings and consultation, check out the link into the description section and go for the intensive horoscope analysis. If you have any question regarding the readings and consultation, go to my Instagram at Pramanik Astrology and DM me. Mars in the 12th house of the horoscope. What is Mars? The first thing which comes to my mind when I think of Mars is masculinity. Mars is the polar opposite of Venus. Mars is all about the individual initiator, the person who is a go-getter, the person with energy. Mars is your energy, strength, vitality, health, blood, physical energy, and your mental energies. It also shows the war, competition, and independence and aggression. Sometimes it also shows accidents and wounds, blood. The literal blood can also be seen with the Mars. Mars is also about your bravery, about your discipline, about your dedicated efforts. All these can be seen with Mars. What is 12th house? 12th house is one of the most misunderstood Dushtana house. 12th house is second to the 11th and 11th to the second. 12th house is the Dushtana house, which brings in kind of a challenges in your life. 12th house is the house of expenses, losses, exhaustion of energy, diseases, isolation, living away from your country, going to the foreign lands. All these can be seen with the 12th house. 12th house is also the house of the hidden enemies, dreams, astral journeys, the other realms, and imagination can also be seen with the 12th house. Bed pleasures and sexual energy can also be seen with the 12th house. 12th house is also the house of spirituality. In the Kalapurush Kundali, we have the sign of Pisces in the 12th house. So all the qualities of the 12th house resonates with the sign of Pisces. 12th house is the water element sign, which is all about the dissolution. This dissolution is the dissolution of the self into the universal energy. That is why it is the last station before we start our next journey from the first house once again. What happens when you have Mars in the 12th house of the horoscope? The planet of energy comes into the house of exhaustion. The person with the 12th house Mars have to be careful while using his energy, be it the sexual energy or the vitality of the person. The area where you're focusing, you have to be very careful about, because these people always end up in unnecessary quarrels or the arguments, and they lose their energy. They have to conserve their energy. They have to focus to conserve their energy, not to waste their energy, because the planet of energy is into the house of exhaustion and loss. And this loss is the loss of energy. So the person with the 12th house Mars has to be careful with respect to his own energy, where he is focusing on, what kind of activities he is doing. He has to be very careful about. Otherwise, he will always feel exhausted. He will always feel tired. The planet of independence comes into the house of isolation. These people love to be alone. 12th house is the house of isolation, and now these people are going deep within themselves. They like to be within themselves, they like to be with themselves alone, and now that really gives them energy. These are the people who will go to the jungle, will practice yoga, martial arts, hatha yoga, or any kind of martial activities in isolation, and they will succeed in such kind of activities. The planet of energy, vitality, and all that life force goes into the 12th house of your horoscope. 12th house is the house of foreign things. So these people are excited about the foreign things. These people are ready to put in their energy in the foreign things. Like, these are the people I have seen, people with the Mars in the 12th house going abroad and succeeding. Like, they went to some other country and they have a successful career. I have seen people with the Mars in the 12th house having this dream of going to the foreign lands and have their own career. Mars is the planet of taking initiatives and doing things. And now this planet is into the 12th house of the horoscope, which is the house of foreign lands. So that's why these people are super excited and full of energy when it comes to the foreign lands. So the person, when goes to the foreign lands, feels energetic and can perform better and can have a great career there. The planet of physical strength, bravery, and energy goes into the house of the enemies. So the Mars in the 12th house makes person stay away from enemies. These are the people who will stay away from the enemies, because 12th house is the house of things behind the scene. These are the things happening behind the scenes and not at the open battleground, which Mars likes otherwise. This is not the 10th house. If anybody comes in to compete with Mars in the 10th house, he will, he will overcome the competition. He will thrash them. But this is the 12th house wherein enemies are hidden. So he stays away from the enemies. 12th house is the house of seclusion, being alone. And Mars is the planet of independence. Mars doesn't like to cooperate. So the planet of independence comes into the house of solitude. So these people have to depend upon others. These people have to depend upon others, and they have to be careful not to over depend on other people. From the 12th house, Mars aspects the 6th house, 3rd house, and the 7th house of the horoscope. Mars has three special aspects. Mars can aspect 4th places from where it is placed, 7th places from where it is placed, and the 8th places from where it is placed. We have to start counting from the house where Mars is placed. Okay, so Mars is into the 12th house. So it is like 12th house, 1st house, 2nd house, and 3rd house. So 4th aspect comes in to the 3rd house. From the 12th house, Mars aspects the 3rd house of the horoscope with its 4th aspect. And when Mars aspects the 3rd house of the horoscope, it energizes the 3rd house of the horoscope. 3rd house is about your siblings, about your own effort, self-effort, hard work, hobbies. All these can be seen with the 3rd house. And Mars is also the significator for the younger siblings. So the planet of younger sibling is aspecting the house of younger siblings from the 12th house. So Mars now bringing in the element of 12th house into the 3rd house. 12th house is also the house of imagination, and 3rd house is the house of communication. So these people can really connect and communicate the 12th house ideas better. At the same time, they might have a competitive relationship with their younger siblings. Like these people, the person with the 12th house Mars can be forceful on their younger siblings. Sixth house is the house of arguments, delays, disease, dates. Pets can be seen with the sixth house. Underprivileged people can be seen with the sixth house. Your routine, your job can be seen with the sixth house. Sixth house is one of the Upajaya house along with the Artha Trikona house. Now Mars is aspecting the sixth house of the horoscope from the 12th house. Whenever Mars is aspecting the sixth house, it gives you an edge in competition. Mars is aspecting the sixth house from the 12th house. So these people have to be careful when they are into the foreign lands with respect to all the martial things as well as the sixth house things. So these people have to be careful with respect to the arguments and enemies when they are into the foreign lands. They also have to be careful with their dates. They have to pay their debts on time. Mars is into the 12th house, aspecting the 7th house with its 8th aspect. These people have to be careful while dealing with their spouse or business partner with respect to the aggression and arguments. At the same time, this placement gives passionate relationship with their partner, because 12th house is also the house of bed pleasures and 7th house is also the house of your sexual union. So the Mars aspecting the 7th house is connecting these two energies. So this bring in passion in the person's life. So yes, this was Mars in the 12th house as much as I could hold, grasp and share with you guys. But don't just limit yourself to these 4, 5, 10 significations and indications we talked about. It is far more than that. Try to create your own interpretations, and you might surprise yourself that you came up with wonderful interpretations. Okay, this is my interpretation and this is very limited. Mars in the 12th house can be anything, because each planet has an agenda. Each planet has lordships. Each planet has the strength. Each planet works differently into the Vargas, and all this happens at the background of the Vimshottari Mahadasha, if not multiple Mahadashas. So don't just jump to the conclusion with, okay, Mars in the 12th house, da 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 da. No, it doesn't work like that. But this is to give you an idea about how you can think about the significations, how you can start thinking about the planets in your own chart and take them as a diagnosis to improve your life. What to watch next? If you are new to my channel, just go to the playlist and start exploring the playlist and start exploring the fascinating world of Vedic astrology. Go to the how to get started into Vedic astrology playlist, or just go to the any playlist and start your journey. Sending you tons of positive energy, sending you high vibrations. See you in the next videos. Love and peace.